once again, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time joining me today. Hi, my name is Hannah, and I make a lot of videos here on YouTube twice a week. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Alrighty, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about my top tips for working in retail and how to not absolutely hate it, because let's be honest, retail is like the worst. Well, it's not the worst. Food service is definitely the worst area to work in. Retail is a close second because it's just awful most of the time, let's be real. So these are going to be my top tips on how to keep from wanting to quit every single day. So the first tip that I have for you guys is to avoid messy coworkers. Like, avoid coworkers who start a lot of drama, who talk a lot of trash about other people. Just completely avoid that, because 99% of the time, it's just gonna get you into a lot of drama and a lot of issues with your coworkers, and you really, really don't want that, especially if you're working somewhere like Walmart, you know, Target, somewhere like that. It's just not a good idea to get involved in employee drama. It can just lead to a lot of bad stuff. Tip number 2, try not to let the rude customers and the mean customers and the customers who are bad for no reason, try not to let them get you down. Don't let them ruin your day. I know it's really, really hard to get past that, especially if you're somebody like me who wants to make everybody happy. I'm a people pleaser. It really, really is hard for me to get past a bad a bad customer interaction. It's really, really hard. Like, it can ruin my whole day if I make a customer upset or whatever. And the truth is, 99% of the time, it's not even your fault. The person is already mad or already having a bad day before they even came into the store, and it's just, unfortunately, they took it out on you. So really just try to get past that. Try not to let it bother you, because there's nothing you can do about it. It's gonna happen. My next tip is to try and stay positive. Now, I know that it can be really, really difficult, especially if you're working in a really depressing environment, such as Walmart, a dollar store, something like that. Somewhere where the lights are not super bright, they're kind of dim. It's just kind of a dim environment, and it can get really, really depressing. And like I said, the bad customer interactions can get depressing. It's a lot, and the stress, just everything can kind of get you down, and it's really, really hard to stay positive in a retail environment a lot of the times. And that's really, it just really sucks, because that's a lot of the reason that some people quit. So I would definitely say try to stay positive, and on that same note, try to keep yourself busy, because for me, if I'm always busy, I'm always having something to do, I have a to-do list. If there's always something for me to be doing, it's not as easy for me to get, one, you know, down on myself, depressed, all that kind of stuff, and 2, bored. I know a lot of people quit retail because they get bored if their store is not very busy, something like that. But just like, try to find something to do, whether it's cleaning the counter, cleaning the register, cleaning up the sales floor, whatever it is, just try to do something. Talk to your coworkers, get to know your coworkers, not the messy ones, like I said, but the really nice ones, stuff like that. Try to befriend coworkers. Just keep busy and don't have any downtime. I hate downtime at work. It just really detracts from my productivity, and it makes it harder to stay positive when there's nothing for me to do and I'm just feeling bored. So definitely, definitely try to stay positive, and on that note, try to stay busy. If there's any manager that you don't like, or a manager that doesn't like you, try your best to limit your interactions with that person. Now, I'm not saying avoid the manager entirely, because that's just impossible, but I would just say try not to engage with that manager. Try not to do anything to upset them or put yourself in a position where you need to talk to them all the time, because it's not going to be good for either one of you. If you don't like the manager doesn't like you, if y'all just don't get along, it's totally best to stay away from that manager as much as you possibly can. Now, I would usually tell you to try to befriend the manager, but I've known too many nasty managers in my time. And I can tell you, if a manager does not like you from the get-go, they're never gonna like you. And that's really, really sad, but it is the case. So if you and this manager don't get along, if this manager has their favorite people, try your best to avoid them at all costs. That's all you can really do. And the final tip that I have for you for working in retail is try to avoid checking the time. And this kind of goes along with staying busy and keeping yourself busy and not having downtime. The more often you look at the clock and the more often you check the time, the more that the time is just gonna drag and drag and drag. And you don't want that. Nobody wants their workday to drag on forever. You don't. So I would definitely say what I personally do, I only look at the clock, like if I'm doing a bunch of things that day, if I have my to-do list, maybe I'll check the clock if somebody mentions who's going to lunch, or if I have a gap between the things that I'm doing. Just try to avoid checking the time every 5 minutes, because it's really not gonna help you at all. It's gonna make it feel like you've been there forever. So I usually try to avoid looking at the clock. It helps me a lot. Some people may not help, but for me, it makes the time go by faster if I just stay busy and don't worry about looking at the clock to see what time it is. Thank you guys once again so much for joining me again today. Leave me a like if you like this video, comment down below, and subscribe, because I make new videos every Monday and Friday. Thank you guys once again so much for joining me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.